What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today we've got another viewer's car. This is Niels, his Mercedes AMG CLA 45 shooting brake. And today I'm going to quickly talk about it, quickly do, a little recap of this car because we've made a video in the past. Today we're going to see what it's like to drive. This is a 2017 car, so it's a facelift, and we'll take a look at the spec and the interior, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Okay, so the CLA 45 shooting brake. If you ask me, the best version of the 45. You have the A45, the CLA 45, the CLA 45 shooting brake, and the GLA. And in my opinion, the GLA and the shooting brake are the best ones. I just like them because they're small, fast, and practical. This car is a facelift, as I said, so that means that we get a little update on the outside, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that it goes from 360 horsepower, 450 newton meters of torque, to 381 horsepower and 475 newton meters of torque. It's also got a revised gearbox. Now, spec wise, we've got a nice grey car with a lot of black accents on the outside, the classic AMG wheels with Continental Sport Contact 6 tires. These are 19-inch, works well on this car if you ask me. AMG performance brakes behind that, the 4MATIC turbo badge, black, window surrounds, mirrors. And Niels actually installed these little side blades in black, which is very nice, good update. And we've got the black diffuser with the AMG performance exhaust. So it sounds pretty good actually. Let's open it because this is what it's all about, of course. The boot space, which is quite generous. The only problem is that the opening is quite small, but boot space wise it is very impressive. It's actually 5 liters more than a C-Class Estate from this year. So it's a very handy car, very practical and cool because I really like the shooting brake stuff. So let's take a look. The 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with a massive turbo. As I said, 381 horsepower, 475 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100, 4.3 for the shooting brake. That's actually down from 4.7 for the pre-facelift. So it's not only the horsepower increase, it's also the gearbox that makes it that big of a difference. So the gear ratios are shorter, and altogether it's a revised version of the pre-facelift gearbox, and it's actually a big improvement over the pre-facelift. So yeah, if you are thinking about getting one of these cars, make sure you get the facelift. It's a cool little car, and I remember when I drove this car, a few times, back in 2017. At some point I started getting tired of this car because it was the same again and again and again, but we don't really drive them that often anymore. I mean, we have a lot of applications from you guys from like tuned Golf R's and Golf GTIs and stuff, but not really for this car. So that's a shame because it's quite a cool car. Yeah. But of course, this engine has been tuned by AMG quite a bit, so it's delivering a lot of power for a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. This was in the horsepower race with Audi, with the RS3, which you could also buy, of course. You can also go for a BMW M135i. Or second hand, you can go for a BMW 340i F31. So there are a lot of options now on the second hand market with a 5 or a 6 cylinder. So this 4-cylinder, it has to be really impressive to compete with those cars. Now on the interior, we've got a very clean interior, nice Alcantara on the dash. Those really cool. I still love these air vents.
the turn action with that little magnetic click in there is awesome. So yeah, this part is a bit old of course, but the upper part, I have to say, held up nicely. So let's take a little drive towards the Autobahn to see what it feels like. So we've got that dual clutch gearbox, which has been updated for this model, and we're going to go for race mode, which means that we also have the AMG ride control pack if you have race mode. It also has the AMG dynamic pack, dynamic plus I should say, which means that we also have a limited slip diff at the front, and as I said, the performance exhaust. So Niels has got a very nicely spec'd CLA 45. He said that the only thing he's missing is the aero pack on the outside. So he added that little black blade at the rear, but he wants to add a bit more maybe. Other than that, pretty much full option, apart from the fact that we've got manually adjustable seats. But the important stuff is there. And it's actually pretty loud. It's louder than I was expecting. It's louder than I remember, because I remember those crackles on every upshift and every downshift, which is why I got a bit tired of this car at some point. But now driving it again after, you know, a couple of years, actually kind of like it. It's quite a good sound, especially when you compare it to the new A45 with its OPF exhaust. This is much better. So you see, sometimes you just need some time and a new car to make you appreciate the old car. And of course, the shooting brake is just awesome. I really like this body type, and I really like that you've got like a little miniature CLS shooting brake. So we've also got launch control, which we're going to demonstrate right here. Pull both pedals, right pedal, full throttle, and there we go. And that's 100 kilometers an hour. Now, as I said, it's supposed to do 4.3, the facelift, but we've been able to do 4.6-ish. So that's not great. Should be a little bit faster. I don't know how old these tires are. Could be that they need, you know, a bit of freshening up, but yeah, not too close to factory, I would say. Now, Niels is going to tune this car. So this is like a little bit of a baseline test, you know, a bit of a before and after sequence we're going to do. But I have to say, I'm not disappointed. Okay, here we are at the Autobahn. Now, the CLA shooting brake and the GLA 45 both have the same suspension. Well, the shooting brake gets the suspension from the GLA, which means that it is quite comfy. The regular A45 and CLA 45 Coupe, like the 4-door, the regular one, they can get a bit too tough, too hard, and a bit uncomfortable. This is really, really nice. I have to say that I actually quite enjoy this suspension setup, because we're in its most hard setting right now, and it's still pretty good. So that was 269. Top speed should be 270, I believe. So that means that this car has the AMG driver's package with the race top speed, because Martijn was able to do 273 GPS earlier. So 100 to 200, we also measured that, of course, and this car did a 12:05, which you can see on screen right now how that fits in. It's about the same time as a CLS 53 and a VW Golf R Mark 8, so that is actually pretty good. I would say that's very respectable. Again, this is just a stock baseline test. Niels is going to do a remap and probably an intercooler, so it will be interesting to see how it performs then, because as I said, this engine has been tuned quite heavily by AMG already. The horsepower per liter was actually pretty insane when this car came out, so yeah, it will be interesting to see how it performs and if there is, you know, a lot in there still. But it is a very nice car, super nice and practical. It looks cool, performs well, sounds good. Handling, well, it handles pretty well actually, but the feeling through the steering wheel is basically absent. But that's not really what this car is about. So Niels, thank you very much for taking your car to us. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you when the car is done, tuned and faster. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle right there. You can also check out this video on the right or go check out this playlist on the left. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.